Happy ReZero doing. As usual, we're gonna check out the most recent ReZero cut content, but before we watch the most recent episode, a huge secret connecting Shala and Flugel to Subaru. Now, recently, I've been a big fan of Natsuki Kenichi, Subaru's dad, actually being Flugel. Why? It's just because his name is Kenichi, which just means like first sage. And there's like a season 2 meme theory of something about mayonnaise cap, collection numbers and how it kind of relates to how could Subaru actually be, dad or whatever. It's some crazy conspiracy theories going on.
I'm not gonna say Subaru is 100% Flugel, but with the way the anime hints at it and the way the novel adds even more connections, it's almost like they're not even trying to hide it.
Al is Flugel, and Flugel is Subaru's dad. And Subaru's dad is Subaru. And Subaru is Roswaal. And Roswaal is Subaru. But Roswaal is actually Al. Because Al is... Everyone is Subaru. What the fuck is this story?
Of course, that could all just be a red herring, but from Shala's recognition of him to similar personality traits and a whole lot more you'll soon see in this video, I'd be more surprised if it's revealed Subaru isn't Flugel. That and some secrets behind the tower are what we're gonna talk about here, so...
And not only that, the fact that everything seems to be designed specifically for Natsuki Subaru to figure it out, like the constellation stuff, right? So either Flugel really is Subaru, or it's someone else from Earth that understands that only an Earthling that could solve these things. You know what I mean?
If you want to know more of the lore and more about this Flugel character, here's everything the anime didn't show us. Before we get further though, I just want to ask you a really quick question.
Yeah?
Frieren or Apothecary Diaries?
Depends on what season you're talking about. I think Apothecary Diaries... I've made this comparison before. I think Apothecary Diaries is what Frieren enjoys things that they're watching. People seem to think that Frieren is this super unique, innovative, series that is not beholden to just action in a battle shonen and is more profound. But I feel like that's actually Apothecary Diaries. A completely unique setting for an anime. Chinese, like emperors and empresses and courtesans and eunuchs, and the way that the mysteries are done and the storytelling is done through these, character revelations, their history in the past, the way that people glaze Frieren, you would think that they're actually watching Apothecary Diaries. The people that think that they're talking about that, they don't even realize they're watching fucking Solo Leveling. It's just reskinned.
Both are excellent anime I normally wouldn't make you choose between, but with today's sponsor, Starforge Systems creating some epic PC collabs for both, unfortunately you're gonna have to.
If we're talking about PC skins though, I'm probably gonna go with Frieren. I don't know. The designs, they're both really nice. Honestly, the Apothecary Diaries like red, green, it's really nice, but Frieren design's really nice too. I don't know.
You're gonna have to.
They're both nice.
So, on the Frieren end, we have a brand new bundle featuring only the iconic duo, a much calmer aesthetic than the vibrant piece we had last time.
Okay.
We've got Himmel and Frieren connected by the same blue moon flower connecting them in the anime, then the overlapping sword and magic circle on top is
I like the color
perfect.
scheme.
These are definitely designed by fans for fans. The Apothecary Diaries PC...
You think the people that made this shit knows about this show, or are they fucking LARPing? Listen, I'm not trying to hate on the sponsor, but made by fans, for fans, press X to doubt.
The Apothecary Diaries PC then showcases that interior palace aesthetic, really capturing that imperial feel with the wood.
Yeah, you know what? The imperial, the designs, the door stuff. This looks really nice, actually.
Bring that imperial feel with the wood frame lattice all around. Now, you might think an intricate design like this would make it more fragile, but with the way Starforge applies a UV print that's permanently baked onto the case itself, their designs won't peel or fade ever.
No way.
As per usual though, the entire rig can come fully built with the highest end components, or you can get just the case by itself or in a bundle.
Cool.
There's always the smaller accessories too, so
yeah, like the grinding stuff here.
Whether it's the matching desk mats, swappable plate lights, or acrylic wall arts, all those are available separately to help you customize your setup the way that you want.
Cool.
Just head to starforgepc.com/AniNews to check out the
That's right. You hear that? Remember, you gotta use the AniNews tag. You don't give him the... If it's affiliate marketing, right? You want to make money off of this shit, then you have to actually, be tapped in and use this code. Anyways. Wait, why isn't that working? Right over here. Go support him if you want. There's the Starforge stuff.
The link to that will be down in the description.
Go.
But anyway, episode 70, A White Sky Asterism. covering Chapter 5 from Volume 21 of the light novel and Chapters 1 to 2 from Volume 22.
Okay.
If we pick things up right from when Shala showed herself, there was a very cool scene involving her and the Maw Beast that didn't make it into the anime. Just like how the Centaur's echolocation wasn't revealed with Subaru's extensive experimentation, so too was its ability to adapt. And I'm not just talking the ability to adapt like the way someone such as Subaru might, I'm talking the insane power akin to that of Maharaga from Jujutsu
really?
Kaisen.
Okay.
Yeah, this random Maw Beast chilling in its own boss arena, it's probably one of the most fearsome creatures Subaru has ever come across.
Better than Guilty Load. Now, this is the strongest Maw Beast we've ever fought, excluding the highest tier, which is the 3 Great Calamities.
So, after Shala's initial attack had blown away half the Centaur's upper body, the Centaur fully adapted and evolved to counter it.
What?
It went from 2 arms to 4.
It literally survived Malevolent Shrine! Bro said, fuck it, I'm just gonna walk through it. What?
4 legs to 8, hardened its entire body with flame-resistant armor, then equipped itself with a sword,
That's terrifying.
lance, hammer, and axe.
Where is he getting the weapons from? He's just making it.
Though it didn't fully understand the opponent it was now up against, it seemed to try and prepare itself for anything.
Shala have to use Flugel
Shala
now.
just upped her firepower instead, then unleashed all of it until nothing of the Centaur remained.
No, Ram did it. This is Ram's Unlimited Blade Works.
Then unleashed all of it until nothing of the
Let's
Centaur
go, Ram!
remained. With not even a single speck of dust remaining, there was nothing left for the Centaur to regenerate from.
The only way to defeat an adapting opponent is to just have a move that you can't adapt from. Fuga!
So this, if anything, just went to show how powerful Shala was.
And they still haven't explained what that was. What is it? What kind of magic is it? Explains! Tell me something!
Now, it's here we enter into what could only be Subaru's subconscious, a place where 2 other unnatural consciousnesses currently reside. This would be the first time Subaru's own consciousness would bear witness to them, but with the way he was now, he didn't have the ability to understand them.
Yeah, he's basically lobotomized in Shadow Garden. He just kind of exists, and he also forgets about everything. And Satala is just like caressing him. It's funny to imagine Betelgeuse and Regulus are just stuck in this domain, just like yapping at each other. That's the Regulus's sin, his suffering.
He felt he could if he really wanted to, but for some reason, he decided not to. He found no need to give them any attention.
Really?
Well, turns out Subaru could actually just turn them off, just like how we saw him do in the anime.
I see. I thought that was actually Satala doing it. That's even more interesting that he decides you not worth anything. This is my private time with Satala before I wake up, so shut the fuck up.
What came after was the scene with who I assume is Satella, her figure here being more distinct and clear than any of Subaru's other encounters with her.
Her outfit, right? It's becoming a lot more detailed. It honestly kind of reminded me of Amelia's drip to an extent.
Now he could actually see what it was she was wearing, and the only hidden part left was her face.
Wow.
For Subaru, not seeing it was genuinely frustrating, but
again, same color scheme, right? Black and gold. Just like Shala too.
There was a certain satisfaction that came with being so close to her. He felt someday he'd be able to touch her hands for real, and it was when that day came that he'd be sure to express his love for her.
And that, I think, relates back to Satala and Flugel 400 years ago before everything went down. Who knows what the details exactly are? But Return by Death, whatever Flugel went to do, all of this, right? And now it's Amelia and Subaru, right? It feels like it's just one long love story.
If there was one emotion he felt more strongly than anything here, it was to...
Whoa, 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 whoa. I have to prepare lips to be able to answer those words. Next time I'll prepare a body that lets us touch each other, feel each other. Is that basically Amelia? I don't know. Like, these two seems to be just like, again, Satala and Flugel, right? Amelia and Subaru. Like, what's going on?
Thing here, it was to reciprocate the love whoever this was giving him now. So, that to me is both confusing and revealing, since it's the first time Subaru's actually expressed any emotional comfort with this shadow.
That'd be funny as fuck, actually, if Flugel actually is Subaru's dad and now he's getting cucked by his dad and overshadowed, which is actually lore accurate considering that's all his insecurities came from in season 2, because Subaru's dad's so cool and everyone loves him. That'd be crazy, though. Now that I'm thinking about that, Flugel can't be Subaru's dad.
It's different from the time he met Satella back in the tomb, but if this is even her to begin with, then perhaps Subaru's subconscious has become a bit more comfortable with her. When it came to him waking up after, Subaru had a theory that how easily you fell asleep was inversely related with how easily you woke up. So, if you were someone who fell asleep fast, then that meant you were also someone who took a long time to wake
Got
up.
it.
Well, Subaru was the opposite, and that's because regrets filled his head whenever he tried falling asleep. His mind would always drift to situations he could have resolved better, and that, as a result, made his sleeps worse and shorter. These recent events in the labyrinth certainly didn't help either, so that would only serve to disrupt his sleep even more in the future.
Uh-oh.
Now, after Beatrice confirmed by name everyone was
Who knows how important that's going to be, but it feels like Subaru is in a perfect environment to become more tilted and crash out because he's not getting any sleep.
present and accounted for, there would be a moment where Shala would closely appraise Subaru, then softly mutter the word 3. I couldn't tell you for sure what that meant, but if
3.
I had to guess, I would say it was Subaru's true number of witch factors.
Yeah!
With Regulus and Betelgeuse both being in the same plane of
And
existence
Envy,
as
maybe.
Satella, that could very well indicate that she's the representative of the Envy witch factor.
Yes!
I could just be completely off, but maybe that's why Subaru was able to open
3 doors
as well.
Yes!
Maybe each were locked behind the possession of a single witch factor.
Uh-huh.
Either way, Shala clearly
That I think everyone is on board with, and something that's very obvious, right?
knows something that Subaru doesn't. Their whole scuffle would then bring us to the
Even the line novel art with Byaku here with her eyes and the little angry, the face mark here.
end of Volume 21. The novel
Very
tied things
cute.
up with this. The options unchosen disappeared and the answers selected remained as the test began. It's pretty much a fancy way of saying Subaru's path was now set.
Okay.
So, as the group reconvened and discussed their circumstances, Subaru would express his concern for the 2 party members that were missing, then Meili would hint at the stress Subaru's separation had caused. Beatrice was on the verge of tears while Amelia was straight up panicking.
Whoa, really?
We don't know what they or any of the others went through, but we can only assume it was much easier than whatever Subaru went through.
Oh, basically what they were encountering as we went there. Yeah, we didn't get to see anything from their POV.
Now, Subaru would go on to try and thank Ram for being so gallant, but the more he talked about it, the more frustrated she seemed to get.
Was it because we were hugging her and holding her in the carriage and ReZero break time?
Well, turns out she was actually just embarrassed, and that's because Subaru was holding her when she woke up.
Yeah,
They
this scene actually went crazy. People love this scene, bro. The break time reaction too, it literally got like 10k views. Like people fucking love the Subaru and Ram, the most toxic ReZero ship to ever exist. They were trying to kill each other and ended up like this. Man, they're volatile.
Actually showed how it was in ReZero break time, so I can imagine how waking up like this would be devastating for Ram. In any case, while they were both unconscious after their bout with the Centaur, that left Aridina as the only person to negotiate with Shala. Negotiate isn't really that accurate of a term though, since no matter how Aridina prodded, Shala wouldn't say anything. It's here with Subaru that she was an open book though, and every now and then she would say something oddly familiar.
Like?
Not familiar to say Amelia or Julius, but incredibly familiar to Subaru.
As if it's like a past life or something when he was interacting with her as Flugel?
Like, take for example this moment after she was flicked on the forehead by Subaru. Her response to that was something along the lines of this. Now, I don't think suing was something you could even do in this world, so
More like Earth terms, right? Earth lingo and slang and jargon that would only make sense to someone that's from Earth.
how then did Shala know that phrase to begin with? She would even use lines like false charges and innocent until proven guilty. Those were more in response to the stories that had propagated about her, mainly her achievements that supposedly passed on for generations.
But it's all fraudulent, right? Because she, at the end of the day, is simply Flugel's apprentice, and she seems to have taken credit for everything while Flugel just kind of disappeared. And she, even though is so-called the Sage Shala, she actually doesn't really have any answers for us, right?
Those definitely weren't done by her though, so unless there was another Shala her master decided to name somewhere, the stories about her were definitely false.
Okay.
When Aridina tried to clear things up by using her coins, she had actually included one extra. There was the sacred gold coin depicting the dragon, the regular
Volcanica.
gold coin with the Sword
Reed.
Saint, the silver coin
Flugel.
featuring the sage, then a copper coin with Lagunica Castle.
Okay.
Every country worthy of their name always had its legacy etched into their currency. When it came to differentiating Subaru from the sage on the coin, for some reason Shala couldn't. This I found incredibly peculiar as
Because visuals, how is it even the same? But the thing that she is It's the scent, right? The scent of the miasma, right?
According to her, all people looked the same. She could just barely distinguish between a guy and a girl, but if two people
What?
both possessed hair, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth, and a nose, to her, they might as well be the same person.
What the fuck? Why? What? Okay. That extra detail's kind of crazy. So right now, she's only differentiating based off of scent, right?
Size was really the only distinguishing factor she looked out for.
What?
So, whether that's due to the fact she's been stuck in this tower for 400 years, or perhaps something relating to her existence that's fundamentally different,
I don't know, but what I see here again is the 3 dots, and look at this. This art's pretty cool. I think there's some sort of constellation. There's again the 3 dots here that's in each eye. What's going on with the eyes? Who knows?
Shala clearly isn't a
This thing looks like a scorpion actually, right? Scorpion constellation, scorpion hair.
regular person like the rest of them. Definitely not human considering the way she referred to Sword
Yeah.
Saint Reed as one.
Like what the hell is she? Like she's been alive for this many years too, just like looking like a teenager. Like what the fuck is going on?
Now, it's after the big reveal of the name
Who
Flugel
knows?
that the long journey upward would commence for everyone. The next floor was only a few dozen yards up, but the spiral staircase made it so it was miles.
Or a farmer.
It's for this reason Meili had to be carried, since such a long walk for her was tiring.
Meili's role literally has been just be fan service prop now. she literally has nothing to do for the rest of the arc but just hang around with Shala and just call her a shameless naked woman.
Shala had even offered to carry Subaru too, but Subaru's pride as a man wouldn't allow him to accept. No, instead he knew he could just ask Julius.
A woman will not carry me, but a man will, because they're gay for each other like that. Regulus would totally be okay with Shala carrying him. Regulus would be like, hell yeah. But again, like Subaru talking about the pride as a man. Regulus, like, it's not like a pride as a man. He just like looks down at the woman as like a fucking slave. Anyways, some interesting interactions here going on.
It was during this walk that more discussions would be had on this Flugel character. First with Meili wondering about this great Flugel tree. She had actually expressed interest in wanting to see it, but Subaru had to let her know he was the one who cut it down.
Crazy assist, right? That Flugel had the foresight maybe that this tree was necessary for him of the future in 400 years to defeat the great whale. Who knows how true that could be, but if it is, fucking crazy planning.
Interestingly enough though, it was back then that Subaru remembered someone calling Flugel a sage too, so now he started to wonder what this sage's accomplishments actually were. He did supposedly seal the witch together with his comrades, but other than that, no one could accurately say what it was he was famous for. So, with a lot of his
Is he just a fraud? Imagine Flugel is just a fucking fraud that knows nothing and just got lucky, and everyone just glazes.
accomplishments remaining unknown, perhaps this Flugel wasn't deserving of the sage title at all. Perhaps he was just good at trumpeting his achievements like how Subaru was.
It would fit just in line with his character, right? Either everything is just getting lucky and he just seems to just swoop in, be at the right time at the right place, or he truly was this transcendent, you know, like enlightened being that never took credit for any of the things that he solved and simply gave it to Shala. Who knows?
The most likely explanation was that Flugel just pinned all his achievements on Shala, thus her name being remembered instead of his.
Yeah.
It was a theory Shala pretty much confirmed after mentioning how he didn't like to stand out too much. If that was in fact
Mr.
the
Low-Key.
case though, then the question on Subaru's mind was, how did his name get passed down in the first place?
Who knows?
Well, according to
If we look at Flugel too, right? What is the origins with it actually? Like, we take like Flugel and Constellation. Is there anything that like... Is there anything that like connects it? Like real world, like astronomy. Like Flugel also, right? That's this name. The term Flugel, where is it from? It's like a German name for wing. I wonder. I feel like Nagatsuki Tape wouldn't have just chose his name randomly.
a book Julius
The part of this kind of sounds like Rigel too, right? But that's kind of reaching. Like, so what? What does that really mean?
once read, it was all because Flugel carved his name into the tree. More specifically, his exact words were Flugel was here.
Yeah.
This was a choice Subaru couldn't help but view as idiotic, but
In
at
Japanese.
the same time fully acknowledged as something he would do. So it was after that that the name Flugel took on a life of its own. He would become this figure shrouded in mystery no one knew the origin of. It was once the group had finally made it to the door that Julius would reveal the other side of it was where he and the others spawned in. Opening them from his side didn't work though, so to make it through, they had to wait for Shala to open it. After a bit more walking, the group would finally make it to the spirit room.
They had a great luck, huh? They did not really have to go through all the crazy bullshit that we had to.
A place where only a limited number of people could enter at a time. That seemed to be the intention of the spirit
Auto-healing.
who owned it, so it's for that reason everyone aside from Ram and Subaru would enter. Fun fact, the spirit was actually the room itself, an area so dense with mana that all this foliage could grow despite the miasma. Now,
That's kind of crazy. It's triumphing the miasma.
despite Ram mentioning that the spirit had no will of its own, occasionally it would make gestures that made it seem like it did. Like the moment Ram moved beside Rem to look over her, the vines of the tree twisted into the shape of a chair for her to sit in.
Aww.
Who knows whether that's actually the spirit reacting, but at the very least, those manners were appreciated.
Okay, the spirit's so chill. I think what would be so cool is if Ram's horn got healed in this room. Because what's going on with Ram? She lost her horn and Roswaal has been tending to it, and we're supposed to keep maintaining it too, but now she's in this room where it's like auto-healing. And I just feel like the horn growing back like that's kind of ridiculous. But imagine if it could in this room.
Why the spirit didn't make a chair for Subaru though? Well, Ram suggested it had something to do with hierarchies.
Huh?
But anyway, after a little teasing of Ram's
Was that her just shitting on Subaru saying, "You're beneath me"?
efforts to come all the way downstairs just to see him, he would then regroup with the others to discuss what's next.
Okay.
Here he would get more info about the watchtower, mainly some details about its layout. Where Subaru came in from was the 6th floor as Therapy, the entrance was on the 5th floor Seleno, the 4th floor was Shala's lair Alcyone, the 3rd, the examination hall Taigada, the 2nd, Electra, and the 1st, Maya.
But there's one more. Remember, right? The tower is somehow inverted. Echidna's, presence definitely matters here. She probably did something with the tower, considering the tests and the trials are similar too. The 7th floor is somehow missing, or I guess it'd be the 0th floor, however you want to call it. And all the names are based off of the Pleiades constellation stars.
How they all entered was by undoing the tower's dimension gate, the name of the trap that caused space to warp around them.
EMP.
Had the gate not been undone, then Shala told everyone she would have just kept firing at them.
Damn.
This then brought into question quite the interesting topic, since where Shala made it sound like Subaru wouldn't have died had he been hit by it, Meili knew for sure he would have.
So does that now imply Shala knows about Return by Death? Or even if she doesn't know about it, that like the Flugel or the Subaru that Shala knows would have solved it no matter what because of Return by Death. Was Flugel using Return by Death before? I don't know. But it just feels like Shala just had utmost faith. And it's kind of crazy that she just kept shooting because that's what the orders were given.
Meili knew for sure he would have. So, when she asked Shala what she would have done had she killed Subaru, Shala simply laughed in confusion.
He wouldn't die?
To her, nothing so minor could ever kill her master. In fact, Shala wasn't sure whether her master was even capable of dying. That
just again kind of feels like she may not directly know about Return by Death, but experience something similar such that like, no, this guy just seems to just solve everything.
was the one trait that made her master who he was, since if her master did die, they wouldn't be her master to
He's
begin with.
unkillable.
That Shala was 100% certain of. It's a comment that could very well be pointing at Return by Death.
Yeah, of course it is.
Now, despite Shala having killed him twice anyway,
Like she's not like explicitly stating it, but she seems to be like aware of like the actual results of Return by Death.
surprisingly Subaru felt no anger towards her. No, if anything, him dying by her hands was more like a traffic accident.
Yeah?
So, rather than hate this person who killed him unintentionally, what he really felt was a mix of forgiveness and resignation.
Is that because if he truly was Flugel and this is off of Flugel's orders, that's why Subaru is able to just get over it quickly?
Back to the layout of the tower, with the 6 floors being identified as what I mentioned earlier, Subaru would wonder where Merope was.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably figured out the floors of the Pleiades
Yeah.
watchtower were named after the Pleiades star cluster, so with Merope being
And the craziest thing here is that Aldebaran, which is Al, points towards Subaru as well, right? We love the Al theories. Shout out to Betelgeuse too. What's going on, my man?
So, with Merope being the 7th of the 7 sisters, Subaru was curious as to why it was excluded. This will probably be mentioned later, but as it turns out, there's actually a quote-unquote zeroth floor.
Nice.
A place created after Flugel had disappeared.
After he disappeared, because again, before this was just a library, but then it became a watchtower until the master returned.
You'd think this floor would be above the first, but with the way Shala neglected to call the 6th floor the lowest, that made Subaru believe it was underground. It was at this point that Shala refused to share anything else, as according to her, the requirements hadn't been fulfilled yet.
Isn't that floor basically just where the seal of Satala is then? Am I misunderstanding this? Like, go back. What did you say about the location here?
Above the first, but with the way Shala neglected to call the 6th floor the lowest, that made Subaru believe it was underground.
Yeah, and it just feels like if we went through all the different doors, if we had the witch factors, then boom, it just has to lead to Satala Seal.
It was at this point that Shala refused to share anything
What else
as
could it be?
According to her, the requirements hadn't been fulfilled yet.
Because only 3 and not 7 just yet, right?
Apparently,
You came back to me in the middle of your journey and that's enough, so the 0th floor is no good. Again, this... You ever played Pokemon? The original like RGB series, and in the beginning, Don Giovanni's gym is literally there in one of the first cities that you go, but that's an endgame place. You can't just enter yet, and you have to go through all these different things and come back, and then you can get to Giovanni's gymnasium. Weird analogy, but this is a very endgame place, and we don't have all the prerequisites done yet. We seem to have, showed up, and there are a little bit of requirements that we solved, but we only have 3 out of 7. So again, come back later on.
Apparently, this was Subaru still in the middle of his journey, so talk about the 0th floor was currently forbidden. The whole thing had led to a strange change in tone from Shala. Up until now, she was very responsive, yet all of a sudden she was defensive, almost threatening. So whatever Subaru...
She just like, I don't know. Whenever it's time to lock in, she gets all serious. I wonder if this is off the order of her master. And anytime like real questions regarding Satala Seal, she just like has this weird ominous aura around her.
Who had said which caused this wall to go up, he knew he needed to drop it.
Okay.
For now, he at least knew for sure Flugel was the same as him. A person from another world just
hey,
like
Al!
Subaru then wondered from what time did Flugel come and how did he live, but what came first was the examination.
It's got to be from the past, right? Who knows how long of the past? I mean, if like guilt, like if you just listen to like the English words that Shala's saying, maybe you could try to figure out. Like it's actually pretty still like modern.
A test the novel seemingly makes an effort to emphasize has 3 key categories. That would be time, attempts, and challengers, all of which were set to unlimited. That
Nice.
probably
Lucky.
means there's more tests the further they go up, so I'm assuming those numbers are likely to change.
And the tests are going to be the reason why Subaru starts aura monstering up the stairs?
When it came to this test, the voice declaring the hint wasn't actually a voice at all. It wasn't sound that reached Subaru's ears, but rather a whisper directly into his brain. In fact, to Subaru, it almost sounded like the voice in his head when he read to himself.
Noka Furueru. That's pretty cool because like when Julius touched it, it was his distorted voice, and Subaru as well, like it's their own distorted voice.
Now, there were a couple additional interactions during their deliberation, the first of which was a comment from Shala. While Subaru was teasing the way she was dressed, Shala would mention that this was an outfit her mother chose for her.
Oh. I thought Flugel did. Wait a minute, the mom did? Yeah, what the mom look like?
Whether that mother is human is a completely different question, but as of now, that's what Shala is making it seem like.
Interesting lore.
Meili would then mention how she wanted to go home.
The mom put the daughter in just like the bikini and booty shorts that's combo. Just okay. I thought it was all Flugel and he was freaky with this, fan service taste because he's a degenerate because he's Subaru and Shala just happened to dress up in the way that he enjoyed. Well, okay, Shala's got a mom.
Finally fed up with the adventure they were on. She was still committed to helping them resolve their problem, but the sooner they got out, the better.
You're stuck. Why'd you, she got dragged out. It's just Meili, like, the season just started and her role is done, bro. Like, there's no more fucking mobbies around. She's just background prop now.
It was when Julius commented on Reed after that his reasoning for such a glowing image was due to the way his stories were passed down.
Yeah, the Reinhardt, the Von Austria, revision, bro. They try to. There's no way, an Austria could be that shitty. Julius is like, no, I don't believe you.
You see, his upstanding character wasn't just an assumption on Julius's part. They were a core part of the Estrella family's lineage.
Nah, they fucking rewrote that, man. The history isn't written by the victors. They just completely hid the fact that their ancestor, their founder, was a piece of shit.
So, for any of it to not be true,
Shout out to Wilhelm.
The Estrella family's history was twisted.
I mean, it is twisted.
Well, twisted it was, and the revelation of such would be far too much for Julius.
Oh, Julius. Don't meet your heroes, and he's gonna meet his hero. I'm pretty sure, like today's episode or the next, because it's like Reed is coming in pretty soon.
He wouldn't be of much use for a while. Getting back to the test at hand, Subaru was starting to feel like this was a trial. With the way the test started.
Yes, again, trial test, right? I mean, shit, even Nagatsuki Tape has been tweeting about the similarities of like, hey, remember the trials in the sanctuary? Well, this is similar, but it's a test.
And the way the number of floors implied that there were 3, Subaru couldn't help but get the feeling Echidna was messing with him all over.
Yes.
This naturally left a sour taste in
because she was there 400 years ago with the party. She must have done something.
his mouth, since at the end of the day, both he and Emilia considered her this.
Echidna is an evil, sadistic bitch. Yeah, she is.
Emilia tended to
She's our evil, sadistic bitch, though.
put it a little bit nicer, but for Subaru, that was exactly how he felt. So, given the similarities between this and the trials at the tomb, it wasn't far-fetched to think the sage and the witches were connected. It was after this that Subaru would come to the conclusion we saw in the anime. The hero destroyed by Shala was Orion. It was a star-based puzzle requiring a star-based solution.
But Earth constellations.
So next episode will...
Again, right? It's something that only someone that has knowledge of Earth constellations could solve. Everything seems to point that whatever Flugel was doing, it just feels like, Subaru is the man to live up to it. The amount of connections, it's overwhelming at this point.
Get deeper into the library. If you like this one, then leave a like and comment, and if you want...
Yeah, there was some very interesting lore today. Like, what shocked me was Shala's mom and the dress code here. Or even like the outward confirmation of what the 0th floor, what the most, underground basement floor is, and how we're halfway there. Halfway of the, 3 out of 7, it's almost halfway, which factors, and most likely it's where Satala Seal is. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I love the Shadow Garden scenes too, and the clarification that it was actually Subaru that actually shut the TV off, and he's trying to enjoy the moments with, Satala, but so they're stuck in the TV. Not a literal TV, but like the way that he just turned the channel off, right? This is his garden. It's Satala and Flugel's garden, I guess. We'll see. Anyways, that's it from me. Please go check out Mr. AniNews. Link to the video. Go give him a like. Check out his channel for more content like this, and I'll see you probably in the actual anime reaction.